Don't we all wish that we can wake up in the morning feeling refreshed, having lots of energy, and just ready to get out of bed and ready to get with our day? Today, I'm going to give you some tips so that you can start your morning feeling refreshed and energetic. We're going to talk about coffee, caffeine, matcha tea, and what is a perfect breakfast to start your day off on the right side. Nowadays, we're always, running from errand to errand. We barely get time to rest, we barely get time to sleep, and we depend on caffeine to just be the helping hand. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that caffeine is a horrible or bad thing or that you should absolutely give up your cup of coffee. But at the same time, is it really normal that we wake up in the morning and we can't function, have energy, or get out of bed before we get our cup of coffee? When it comes to caffeine, caffeine is a stimulant. It stimulates your adrenal glands to produce more cortisol, to raise your blood sugar, and to give you more energy. And if you do that occasionally when you had, a test that you had to stay up for at night, or you have a really busy day at work and you need extra energy, caffeine and coffee are great for that purpose. They're going to stimulate your body to work more, to have more energy, to stay up a bit longer, and that is great. But when we start depending on caffeine every single morning to function, what happens is our bodies become dependent on this external stimuli. And we can no longer wake up in the morning having the energy we want, feeling refreshed, or doing anything in our day without grabbing that cup of coffee. What I always tell my clients is, I don't need you to completely give up your coffee, but I don't want you to need your coffee. I don't want you to be dependent on it. I want you to learn how to nourish your body the right way so that you wake up in the morning and you are ready to go. So what should we do when we wake up to really have energy without coffee?
Tip number 1.
You must have a good night's sleep. No matter what you're going to have in the morning for breakfast, if you didn't sleep for at least 7 to 8 hours, you are going to wake up feeling tired and drained. And if you depend on coffee to make up for that, eventually your body's going to break down. Your adrenals are going to get exhausted and tired. They will no longer be able to produce the required energy, and you're going to feel exhausted all day long, even with that cup of coffee.
Tip number 2.
Sometimes we wake up and the first thing we think about when we open our eyes is the chores that we have to do, the lunch boxes, the work. And when you wake up with those thoughts in mind, your body really just shuts down and it wants to go back to sleep. And that really prevents you from waking up feeling, energetic and happy and looking forward for the day to come. So if you practice waking up just 10 minutes earlier than what you need to, and make those 10 minutes something that you look forward to, like doing something special, like maybe doing a 10-minute yoga, or reading a favorite book, or just sitting, on your own by the window.
Tip number 3.
A lot of times that feeling of being drained and tired in the morning is just the dehydration from the long sleep. So when you first wake up, make sure that you drink a cup of water. A lot of times that can make a huge difference. If you squeeze a little bit of lemon in there, it can really help revive your adrenals, because our adrenal glands depend big time on vitamin C. And so giving yourself that huge vitamin C in the morning can really help your adrenals just start up and function again.
Tip number 4.
What you're going to eat for breakfast is really going to define how much energy you're going to have in the day. If you wake up in the morning and you have like bread or a bagel or a donut or cereal, something with a lot of carbs and a lot of sugars, what's going to happen is your blood sugar is going to have a really big spike, followed by a really big dip, and that will leave you feeling drained when you reach work. Start your day with a breakfast that's high in protein, high in fat, and high in fiber, because this is what's going to stabilize your blood sugar when you wake up and give you sustained energy throughout the day. Today, for example, I'm going to be showing you how I make this breakfast buckwheat cake that I really like.
For the full recipe, make sure you click on the link above.
It has carrots, apples, lots of seeds like hemp seeds and sunflower seeds. It has some buckwheat flour, yes, which will give you a little bit of carbs, but it's not processed carbs, so it's not going to cause a big spike in blood sugar. It's going to give you a boost of energy that will stay with you for hours to come.
And lastly, tip number 5.
Even with all of that, sometimes we weren't able to sleep well, sometimes we have a really tough week at work, and we really need to get our energy up. And this is why I wanted to introduce you to matcha tea. Matcha tea is a much healthier alternative for a bunch of reasons. One of the things that's really special about matcha tea is that it's actually raw green tea leaves that's ground into a fine powder. And so when you make the matcha tea, you're using everything in the leaf. So you're actually taking all the benefits in the antioxidants. Whereas if you compare that to green tea, you're only steeping the leaves. So you're not really extracting everything out. Matcha tea is one of the biggest foods on antioxidants, even surpassing goji berries, pomegranates, coffee, and regular green tea. It does not have the same dramatic effect as caffeine. It doesn't cause the same spike in blood sugar and the same spike in cortisol to give you energy. It gives you a more sustained and slow release of energy, and that's thanks to an amino acid called L-theanine. That amino acid actually promotes calmness and relaxation. So instead of getting that jittery, stressed, feeling that you get sometimes from coffee, you get a more relaxed, clean, high energy feeling. And that's one thing I love about it, because I'm someone who can't actually tolerate coffee so well. And so when I do have to drink coffee for any reason, I just feel, a little bit anxious. I feel my heart beating a bit faster, and I don't get that effect with the matcha tea. Matcha tea also is full of chlorophyll, and you can tell that from its green color. That intense clear green color of the matcha tea, that's all the chlorophyll, and that helps with detoxing. It helps alkalizes the body. Now, you might take some time to get used to the very leafy taste of it, but once you really get hold of that, you might really find yourself enjoying it. Here's this episode. Thank you for being here in my episode. If you liked this video, please make sure to let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know, what is your favorite high energy breakfast and how often do you drink coffee? I'm just trying to build an idea of how many people out there in the world are actually addicted to coffee on a daily basis. And if you want to make sure that you're getting all my videos, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in another episode from Be Nourished. Thank you.